2001, she was awarded the Heart of Gold Award from the United Way of Southeastern Michigan. And now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Mayor and Council of the City of Southfield, County of Oakland, State of Michigan, do hereby recognize Fern Katz for her many contributions to the Southfield Public School District and the City of Southfield. And be it further resolved that we, the Mayor and Council, convey our collective appreciation and commendation to Mrs. Katz for her many accomplishments and for her leadership, vision, and hard work that has taken the district to an even higher level of excellence. Congratulations. And now, Mr. Buchanan. Again, a joint resolution from the City of Southfield, whereas Darryle J. Buchanan has resided in the City of Southfield for the past 16 years with his wife Belinda and their 2 sons, whereas Mr. Buchanan is a former Southfield Board of Education President and trustee who served as the Board of Education from the years 2005 to 2014, whereas Mr. Buchanan is a strong community and public education advocate who has worked tirelessly as a mentor for the betterment of students and young adults throughout Southfield. Whereas Mr. Buchanan co-founded the Transition Basketball nonprofit sports organization that has helped both young people to attain high achievement in sports, business, and higher education. And whereas Mr. Buchanan served as the director of the Michigan State University Extension Leadership Council for Oakland County, the Galileo Leadership Consortium, as past president of the Michigan Caucus of Black School Board Members, and vice president of the Board of Directors of the Michigan Association of School Boards. Mr. Buchanan also has obtained a Master Platinum Award from MASB and is the recipient of the Southfield Area Council Nancy Widman Award for his contributions to public education in Southfield. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Mayor and Council of the City of Southfield, Oakland County, State of Michigan, do hereby recognize Darryle J. Buchanan for his many contributions to the Southfield Public School District and the City of Southfield. Be it further resolved that we as Mayor and Council convey our collective appreciation and commendation to Mr. Buchanan for his many accomplishments and for his leadership, vision, and hard work that has taken the district to an even higher level of excellence. Congratulations.
I am just thrilled to pieces to be so honored by all of you people. It's a wonderful feeling to know that some of the things I did were really worthwhile. And I think maintaining the education in this community is the single most important thing that I could have done. And I am just thrilled. And I am not finished yet.
First, let me start by saying that all is well. There have been a lot of changes that have taken place in my life over the past couple of months. And those are just the things that prepare us for even greater. As many of you probably know, I lost my mother back in September. And those are the things that you're just not prepared for. But even beyond that, I think about I lived the way my mother wanted me to live. I am the man that she wanted me to be. And I was able to be that man here for the city of Southfield. You know, it was 16 years ago that this journey began. And I can say that because I went onto the playground at Kennedy Elementary with my oldest son and said, you know, Mrs. Bettman, I do remember his first grade teacher, Mrs. Bettman, this is Evan, and I'm his dad, and if you need anything, give me a call. She said, really? I said, really? So she called, and I showed up. And every time she called, I showed up. And that's really been, you know, my story. When I was called upon, I showed up. And it led me to places that I never envisioned that I would be. It led me to do things that I never thought about doing. But when it's put in front of me, then I have to execute. I have to do that. I want to thank this community for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank my colleagues on the board for serving with me with honor. There's been changes throughout the years. I see my former colleague, James Jackson, and this brings me back to when it all started. It's nice to see this room full, but this room is full now because people are coming to celebrate. I remember when this room was full for other reasons. People were coming here because they weren't coming to celebrate. We were here, and this room was hot, and it was crowded, and there were some angry folks in here. But through hard work, transparency, and building trust, we were able to demonstrate to this community what excellence really is. We have the highest achieving African American students in the entire state of Michigan. I don't think anybody understands how big that is. In the state of Michigan, in this environment where it's so toxic, and we're seeing that our children are being bandied about as if they're being traded like slaves, because each one of these children have $7,500 attached to them, and somebody's looking at them as a revenue stream. Not here in Southfield. We meet our children where they are. We get them to where they need to be. I say that because that same little boy that I was telling you about is now graduating from Michigan State University with honors, and thank God he's already got a job. It started at my dinner table, as it should start with all of you. It starts at your dinner table, but it should finish here in this district, and that's what we do. And that's the most proud accomplishment I'll have in my life. And that's because of the support that I got from everybody in this room, and I thank you all for that honor. Thank you.
Mr. Buchanan, this is your evening to be honored, and we would now have Mr. James Jackson, the former Southfield Public Schools Board President and current representative of Senator Gary Peters.
Oh, nice.
Senator-elect.
Right.
Sorry. Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I come this evening wearing two hats. As a former school board member and school board president, and someone who served alongside these two very dedicated public servants. I was first elected in 2005 along with Fern. We ran in the same race that year and were elected. Darryle was on the board. I know he was in that same race and got on the board just shortly before we did. And I can tell you that as public servants go, these two are extremely dedicated, extremely committed. The course that this district has taken over the last decade is due in large part not only to all those who work in our schools every day to work with our students, but also to the leadership. And I learned very quickly and understood the critical role that board members play. And as Darryle talked about, there were many nights when this room was hot. It was packed and it was hot with some unfriendly people. And but we made it through that. We made it through a lot. And it was an honor, truly an honor, to sit at this table and serve alongside these school board members. They are amazingly dedicated. There were many long nights where we had meetings that weren't televised, but we were here and having those hard discussions and hard debates on contracts, on budgets, on students, who to expel, who to keep in the district. I mean, there's a lot that goes on, a lot that the public does not see that board members do. And they're here. All of them have a true passion for students, for this community, for this district. Our role as board members is truly to
to provide a vision for the district, but also to support all those who are in the classrooms every day in front of these kids. And, you know, and for many board members, you know, for Darryle and I, we had kids go through Southfield schools. My kids are still in the district. So there's always been a vested interest. You know, Fern being a retired teacher, she truly came to the board understanding what it's like to be in that classroom. And those are invaluable when it comes to sitting at this table and determining, you know, what policies make sense and which ones don't. And that's why it is so important every election cycle to make sure that you are engaged in who you elect the school board.
Yes.
But with these two, you absolutely got it right. There's no doubt about it. That's my board member hat, and I'm truly honored to call them both colleagues and friends, because I truly do love them. Now, my official hat is representing U.S. Congressman Gary Peters, who currently represents the 14th District, and will soon represent the entire state, and we appreciate you all for that as well. But what I want to present to each of my friends is a personal letter from Congressman Peters to them, that they can read at their leisure, but basically is thanking you for your service over the many years that you've given to this district and this community, and for and wishing you well as you go on to your next adventure. It was truly an adventure. Yes. So with that, I want to thank you all for giving me a few minutes on the podium. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Mrs. President Katz, President Katz, please remain at the podium. Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Three people that stand next to me were the ones who appointed me in 2009 of December to this board. Thanks to my fellow alumnus here from Kentucky State University, he was the one who talked me into it. He didn't tell me everything that you were going to get into, what it involves, and I'm glad he didn't. I may not have ran. There's one more person in the audience, Margaret Hall, would you please stand? She was also a part of the team at that time with her. And then this gentleman that I'm about to read this, not resolution, but the special tribute from, Mr. Rudy Hobbs, had left the board prior to me coming on, but he had also served the group of C before you today. So with that, from past Representative Hobbs, I'll read the one for Darryle first. Let it be known that it is with a strong sense of admiration for all of the sacrifices he has made on behalf of the people of Southfield and the students that we salute Darryle J. Buchanan for his hard work, dedication, and professionalism displayed during his tenure with the Southfield School Board. As the people of Southfield recognize the loyalty and devotion to public service and education of this individual, we are pleased to join with the students, teachers, co-workers, parents, families, and friends in expressing our appreciation and best wishes to this most devoted professional for a job well done, and to thank him with confidence that Southfield, its schools, and its students will long benefit from his service. In his time on the Southfield School Board, Darryle has followed the noble pursuit of bettering public education for our young people, a tradition that has always been an important part of Michigan's heritage. Through his work, he has instilled lifelong skills and helped build self-confidence in thousands of youngsters who have grown to adulthood as capable and understanding citizens, setting a strong foundation for this state's future through its children. Further, financial pressures and changing expectations have combined to make the recent past an especially challenging time to work in public arena. His ability to meet the challenges and to cope with a changing world requires not only skill, but a deep sense of emotional concern as well. We thank Darryle J. Buchanan for passing this legacy on to our rising generations. The people of Southfield have appreciated the dedication and belief in this community's future that has marked all elements of his work. There can be little doubt that the record of this outstanding individual in his responsibilities on the Southfield School Board will continue to reap rewards for the people and students of Southfield for years to come. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to honor and thank Darryle J. Buchanan for his work on the Southfield School Board. May health and happiness be his in the future. Signed, Rudy Hobbs, State Representative, 35th District.
Okay, so I had a third hat. Because I also wanted to read the tribute for Fern from State Representative Rudy Hobbs. As Rand...
Before you begin, Rudy Hobbs is the reason I'm on the board. There was a spot and he whispered in my ear, "Why don't you run, Fern?" That's a good idea.
Rudy also served on the board with all of us, and so I'll read this special tribute. Let it be known that it is with a strong sense of admiration for all the sacrifices she has made on behalf of the people of Southfield and its students that we salute Fern Katz for her hard work, dedication, and professionalism displayed during her tenure with the Southfield School Board. As the people of Southfield recognize the loyalty and devotion to public service and education of this individual, we are pleased to join with the students, teachers, co-workers, parents, family, and friends in expressing our appreciation and best wishes to this most devoted professional for a job well done, and to thank her with confidence that Southfield, its schools, and its students will long benefit from her service. In her time on the Southfield School Board, Fern has followed the noble pursuit of bettering public education for our young people, a tradition that always has been an important part of Michigan's heritage. Through her work, she has instilled lifelong skills and helped build self-confidence in thousands of youngsters who have grown to adulthood as capable and upstanding citizens, setting a strong foundation for this state's future through its children. Further, financial pressures and changing expectations have combined to make the recent past an especially challenging time to work in the public arena. Her ability to meet the challenges and to cope with a changing world requires not only skill, but a deep sense of emotional concern as well. We thank Fern Katz for passing this legacy on to our rising generations. The people of Southfield have appreciated the dedication and belief in this community's future that have marked all elements of her work. There can be little doubt that the record of this outstanding individual and her responsibilities on the Southfield School Board will continue to reap rewards for the people and students of Southfield for years to come. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to honor and thank Fern Katz for her work on the Southfield School Board. May health and happiness be hers in the future.
Thank you very much. And I would like for both Mr. Buchanan and President Katz to remain at the podium. At this time, you are honored this evening, and I want you just to relish, because you both deserve every moment and every word that is being shared about both of you. So I would like now for Ms. Kathy Hayes, the Executive Director of Michigan Association of School Boards.
Thank you, and good evening to everybody. I'm just absolutely honored and privileged to be here to recognize these two outstanding board members who have obviously, it should be obvious to everybody that they have dedicated their lives to not only Southfield Public Schools, but I can tell you to public education in general. And there are no two people who have not been champions of public education more than these two individuals. I've had the pleasure of getting to know them over several years since they've been board members. What I want to tell you is that a lot of you probably don't realize that we have a voluntary certification program for board members. And when I say it's voluntary, that's exactly what it is. It's not something that any board member is required to do by state law. But these two individuals have been model board members. They truly do believe in professional development and long-term education, and they have both together probably have taken over 60 different classes with MASB. It's probably one of the reasons they are such outstanding board members. And I have to tell you that my admiration as I've listened to the many comments, the many positive comments about them, and when I think about how much service they continue to do in their community and all the time that they spend on the board meeting, we really have to be amazed by the fact that they took the time out of their busy schedules to get the kind of education that they received. I want to tell you that they're at what we would consider the two highest levels of certification that any board member can get, and that required many, many, many hours of their time to do that. So you really have benefited from that, but they're the two that work very hard to get there. So on behalf of Michigan Association of School Boards, I am proud and privileged to present to both Darryle and Fern the Distinguished Leadership Award. Fern, and this is in recognition of extraordinary and visionary service to improve public education for the children of Michigan. Thank you very much for your public service.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Hayes. And I would like for you to remain. At this time, we're going to have a special recognition by our Southfield Board of Education.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It is my honor and privilege to read this proclamation from Southfield School Board to Ms. Fern Katz, proclamation to acknowledge. In honor of outstanding service as a Southfield Board of Education trustee, December 9, 2014. Whereas Fern Katz is a tireless advocate of public education and served as a trustee of the Southfield Board of Education since 2005. And whereas Fern has obtained the Master Diamond Award from the Michigan Association of School Boards due to her diligence in attending MASB CBA classes in order to become as knowledgeable as possible in all areas of the responsibilities of a member of a Board of Education, and supported the entire school board's effort to attain honorary status and receive MASB's Award of Excellence. And she has served as Vice President, Treasurer, President of the School Board, and provided exemplary leadership during difficult financial challenges to public education throughout our state. And whereas Fern has imparted her wisdom and experience as an educator, labor negotiator, and active community member towards her tenure on the Board of Education, and served diligently as the board liaison
to the Southfield Head Start Policy Council, which supervises a grant of over $1 million and is committed to supporting this program for the district's youngest students. And whereas Fern tenaciously and intelligently addresses current issues affecting public education, as well as state and national concerns in support of student achievement, and represents the school district with a willing attitude in order to share pertinent information with legislators, community groups, parents, and media. And whereas Fern inspires others to step forward and give of themselves by being an involved and dedicated citizen who readily volunteers for committees, attends school activities, makes the time to listen and respond to students, parents, and staff, and is selflessly generous of her time. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Fern Katz is recognized for her exceptional sacrifice and service to Southfield Public Schools, students, parents, and community. Presented on this 9th day of December 2014 on behalf of Southfield Public Schools. And we also like to honor you with this gift from the school board. Thank you, and know that you will truly be missed.
Proclamation to acknowledge Darryle J. Buchanan in honor of outstanding service as the Southfield Board of Education trustee dated December 9, 2014. And I've got to start by saying I met this young man back in the 70s. And the challenges that I presented him with the first time we met, I knew he was going to be an outstanding leader. So what you see now... But he is older than me. Whereas Darryle J. Buchanan is a tireless advocate for public education and served as a trustee of the Southfield Board of Education since April 2005. And whereas Darryle has obtained the Master Platinum Award from the Michigan Association of School Boards due to his diligence in attending MASB CBA classes in order to become as knowledgeable as possible in all areas of the responsibilities of a member of the Board of Education. And under his leadership as president of the Board of Education, the entire school board attained honor board status and received the MASB Award of Excellence for the collective superior efforts of our group, and has been a conscientious overseer of district funds to overcome strengthening financial challenges that directly affected our district at that time. Whereas Darryle diligently serves as a mentor for students who are in the greatest need of strength and understanding, and has been instrumental in involving fellow members of the community in this endeavor, including co-founding a nonprofit organization that includes basketball programs for male youth. And as a result of participating in this program, many young men have received scholarships, networked with business and community leaders, and are motivated to attain higher levels of education. And whereas Darryle has served as Vice President of the Michigan Association of School Boards Board of Directors, and also served on the Michigan State University Extension Leadership Council of Oakland County, and served as President of the Michigan Caucus of Black School Board Members, and whereas Darryle's enthusiasm for academic enrichment and excellence in education and provides inspiration to others while focusing on improving student achievement and serving the community. And his continuous
continuously encourages community and parent participation, school business partnerships, and promotes initiatives that increase resources for schools. Now, therefore be it proclaimed that Mr. Darryle J. Buchanan is recognized for his exceptional sacrifice and service to the Southfield Public Schools, students, parents, and the community, presented on this 9th day of December, 2014, on behalf of the Southfield Public Schools.
Okay. Well, place it back here. I want to share with both of you, I wanted you to bask in this evening and in the many, many wonderful words that have been shared for both of you. I'm not going to repeat all of the tremendous things that you've accomplished and the tremendous work and the tremendous leadership. What I wanted to share with you this evening is something that is from the district. And for all of us in the audience, we have a little emblem on our letterhead that has a flame. And when I think of that flame, I think of leadership. I think of illumination. I think of light. I think of love. And I think of all these wonderful characteristics that you both embody. And from the Southfield Public Schools, Mr. Darryle Buchanan, Board Trustee, from 2005 to 2014, in recognition of exemplary service and dedication to Southfield Public Schools, I'd like to provide this for you. And it's a beautiful flame. I will also share that when I get to the same place that Mrs. Katz is, I want to be just like you. This lady is just tremendous, and you have also provided the illumination, the light, and the leadership. And here is your flame from Southfield Public Schools for service from 2005 to 2014. I thank you both so much. And you know, I just have to add, Mr. Buchanan, we kind of go way back too, don't we? And we started a journey way back at a wonderful place called Michigan State. And it's a wonderful thing how life just causes the path to twist and turn. And we grow, we learn, and I'm just so proud of you both, and I'm grateful. So thank you. And you will be back, both of you. I have plans.
Before I leave, there's one person that I have to honor, and that's my wife, Belinda, my partner, love of my life. I could not have done any of these things had it not been for her support. There were many, many nights that required her to pick the boys up and run them to practice and here and there. And then when I was traveling with MASB doing board business with them, and then she had to shovel the snow. And I know she was really, I heard about it. But thank you.
That is the end of our presentations this evening.
Dr. Wood.
Yes. Mrs. President Katz, Would you like to, President Katz? Would you like to introduce your son and his wife that are here in the audience? Would you kindly stand?
Ralph and Deborah Katz.
Well, it's all a big surprise. Okay. You have to forgive me while I get organized here. The next on the agenda is student and staff recognition. We congratulate the Southfield School High School Blue Jays football team for being the 2014 league champions, the district champions, the regional championship winners, and the Michigan High School Coaches Association Academic All-State Award recipients. Coach Tim Conley is here with more information.
Thank you. First of all, it's very encouraging to be recognized. I hear people talking tonight about starting journeys, and it's funny how we end up in the same room together again. Miss T, Marty Bolger, he was the one that recruited me to come from Detroit Public Schools to Southfield, actually to teach Spanish and coach wrestling. And then Miss T gave me my chance in 2005 to be the head football coach. So it was really exciting at that time, so I'm glad you guys are here. It's really nice. Calvin, come out here. Calvin's here tonight to talk about the events at Southfield High School over the last month. So he's one of our football players. I know he's really excited. He just, St. Francis University just offered him a full scholarship today.
Woo!
It's kind of far away from Mama, it's Pennsylvania. So. But he's one of our team members. He was on the team for the last 4 years, and it's just really interesting how things happen. He just showed up, and we're like, this is a big kid. We gotta get him out for football. And then little did we know, he was gonna be one of our leaders. He's here tonight, like I said, to represent Southfield High School, and he does a great job. We did well on the football field this year. We had great success. We've also had success with the academic All-State. And we know at Southfield, and something that we tell these guys all the time, they're playing football is very finite, and everyone is going to end sometime. But being able to write an essay, do math, speak Spanish, those are things that are pretty sweet too. It's pretty cool. So that's our focus, and we really work with the young men that we have. This year, 183 young men were in the program, and so it's a big task, but it's really enjoyable. And if it wasn't for the parents bringing these young men to Southfield, I really appreciate that, and I want to thank them also. So, you want to say anything about the team? You have something to say tonight? Or this is beginning later, you have to talk about the school, right? Or you have something to say about the team? All right, well, yeah, he's got a lot to say later. That's what he's talking about. No, that's later on. But, so he's one of our outgoing seniors, so I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be back next year. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dr. Linda Wood.
Yes.
Coach Conley's done an outstanding job.
He has.
And I've been following the team. So I'm going to shed some of what I'm sure he was about to say. We had 2 team players that made the dream team, All-State. But here's where the story is with Coach Conley. Southfield has 5 seniors who already have made commitments to play at the college level. Ray Buford, Minnesota, Big Ten. Devontae Ginwright, Western Michigan University. Eeyore Johnson, Wake Forest. Adrian Carter, Austin. And many more. But they haven't made commitments yet. But here's the story for Coach Conley. Their team had a 3.31 grade point average. 3.31. That tells me that he taught them how to win not only on the field, but in the classroom. Because at the end of the day, you're student athletes. So when you go to the next level, you're student athlete. Coach Conley currently has 13 players with scholarship offers, 6 with Division I offers. They have a league, district, regional championship that no one can take from them. The group has logged over 1,000 hours of community service. 1,000 hours of community service. They have 6 players today that turned out 5 hours of community service. It goes on and on. So that's the story. Coach Conley, regardless of what happened at the regionals, you taught these young men how to win. So congratulations to you.
The Southfield High School Techno-Jays received robotics and engineering grants, donations, and corporate sponsorships totaling $18,400. Mr. Joe Minnick is here with more information. Yes? Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Brought a few of the team members so they can share some of their experiences if the time permits. I start by thanking the board and Southfield Public Schools for supporting engineering at Southfield. Really opens up a lot of opportunities for these youngsters here. I want to thank Southfield administration for supporting our efforts to support a robotics competition at the high school. It really opened up a lot of awareness and opportunities for these corporations to get involved. And I'd like to just mention Lear Corporation for over 15 years. Lear has paid our entry fee for another year of competition, $5,000. Thank you, Valencia Morris, for working with us, coordinating that every year. Also like to thank Joyce Laggi and Tim Cahoon for helping secure $3,500 from BASF Corporation. Tim Cahoon was also instrumental in helping us get $2,500 from Federal Mogul. The Denzel Corporation, I'd like to thank Pat Freeman. He helped us get $2,000 and lots of used equipment that students can experiment with and play around with. A lot of electronic measuring equipment, a lot of electronic engineering equipment, that over $20,000 worth of equipment that they're free to take apart and do whatever they want with. It's over in the Engineering Academy right now. Eaton Corporation gave the robotics team $1,400 for this year. Tammy Mays, a parent, helped us coordinate $1,000 from TRW Corporation for the second year in a row. We also have a $3,000 grant from the Square One Education Network that will allow us to build an electric car in the Engineering Academy, which we'll be competing with this May down at Belle Isle. A couple of individuals, Dustin Williams and Aaron DeGrow from Ford Motor Company. They put in a lot of hours, and Aaron is actually going to buy us a new Blue Jay mascot uniform this year.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, do you have any parents here with you? No? Jackson to stay?
I think they drove.
They drove. Well, you just present our congratulations to your parents for the fine work that you do.
We'd like each of you to give us your names and your grades, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
I'm Isaiah Dukes, and I'm a senior at Southfield High School.
I'm Sean McCray, and I'm a sophomore at Southfield High School.
My name is Aaron, and I'm a sophomore at Southfield High School.
My name is Teron Hayden, and I'm a junior at Southfield High School.
My name is Kobe Bright, and I'm a junior at Southfield High School.
My name is Etan Johnson, and I'm a junior at Southfield High School.
My name is Jalen Mims, and I'm a senior at Southfield High School.
I'm Stephanie Peasy, and I'm a senior at Southfield High School. And speaking about parents, my mom is here. I just wanted to take this quick moment to thank her as well for all the support that she's given, me and all this team. She's been there really since I've gotten involved, and I don't know. It's really great to have parents that are so involved with us in this program, and I feel like she's just been there for me every step of the way. And I can thank her all the time. I feel like I can never thank her enough, so thank you again, Mom. No, actually. There's a lot. No, I'm not the only girl in this program. Actually, there's quite a few of us, and I find that the number grows each year. This is just a small slice of our team. I think, last count, there's at least like 15 others just on robotics alone. But then our engineering program itself, there are a lot of girls in there, which I think is great. It's one of our goals. One of our goals through our engineering academy is to inspire, people from all sorts of backgrounds, racial backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, because we are a team of minorities, and we're very underrepresented in the STEM field. And so we're just racial minorities and then gender minorities, really attracting a lot of girls to our team. So we think that's, a good thing.
I just want to say, I just want to commend Mr. Minnick because my son, D'Angelo Hagan, he's instrumental in my son, D'Angelo Hagan. He's now at Western Michigan with dual majors, aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering. And there was times when I would say to him, I wonder who's the dad, Mr. Minnick or myself? We talked about him quite a bit.
Good job. Thank you.
Being that I'm an employee of General Motors, all of these suppliers, except for the one I don't believe, Square One Education Network, supply to us. Tier 1. I want to make sure that I would be making myself neat in the near future, so we can talk to my GM counterpart.
Oh, sure.
So we can get you some help there.
Yes.
Appreciate all you do.
Mr. Minnick's emails after these presentations because you come pretty regularly with these wonderful things, and we are supportive of our board, supportive of our students and our parents, and it's also worthy of a round of applause for you, Mr. Minnick, for all that you do, because honestly, that whole corridor of my alma mater is just so inspiring, and I'm so inspired for all of you and my STEM girls that the future is bright because we do a good job here. So kudos to you, Mr. Minnick, and your whole team.
I too would just like to congratulate you for your success, and I just wish you the best of luck and keep going and working hard. Thank you.
And I might add that these opportunities, gentlemen, I appreciate what you do. You do a wonderful job. But these opportunities were not open to women when I went to school. They just weren't. And my granddaughter is now a civil engineer. No problem.
Come around. The young men around the front.
Thank you.
And ladies. There we go.
Well, there's more. Students from University High School, 8th grade academy, Bryce Bunderling K-8 school, and Levy Middle School attended the 2014 National Society of Black Engineers Conference. Principal Sharon Lewis and Principal Rita T. are here with more information.
Good evening to the board, superintendent, and the cabinet, parents, and community. We're glad to be here tonight to talk with you about our NSBE program, which is our pre-engineering program. We have a short presentation for you. This is the symbol for NSBE. We attend meetings, regional meetings annually, as well as national conferences. So this is one of the examples of what we did. We went to Cincinnati, Ohio, and brought an entourage of students with us. So. The mission of NSBE is to increase the number of culturally responsible black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. And that's really true of our students. They work very hard. We have quite a few students that are involved in this program. Southfield Public Schools' participation in NSBE involves Brace Letterly, Levy, University Prep, Middle and High School, Southfield Regional Academic Campus, which is also called SRAC, attend. And we've done this, like I said, annually. We have over 75 active members that represent the Southfield citywide chapter in NSBE. What is PCI? This is the part that is the pre-college initiative program that's designed to stimulate the interest in science, technology, engineering, mathematics fields, or what we call STEM. The goal is to encourage students in grades K-12 to attend college and to pursue technical degrees. The students participate in quite a few activities in NSBE during the conferences, and one of those activities is our math count. Our students participated in the annual math competition this year, and there were individual tasks that the groups worked to problem solve on. And this competition is set up like a spelling bee where teams compete to receive a series of math problems that they have to solve. And this year, the UPrep brought home 2 awards from the NSBE Regional Conference. The UPrep team, and I'm really kind of hard-pressed with some of the names, so we'll have them, if they'll stand up. They are here. And they did an outstanding job, so if you'll come and just tell them who you are.
My name is Harlan Walker.
Hi, hello. My name is Jason Phillips. My name is John Sloan.
My name is Timiteo Oyolade.
My name is Tolu Oladele.
What else would grade you in?
I'm in 8th grade along with my friends here.
Good evening, all. I just want to say thank you, first of all, to our fellows who won first place and Kyle first place for overall winning, but just really also to our parents. Thank you. They make sure that they get there. They are huge supporters. They make sure we had snacks when, they funded for their students to go. We are greatly appreciative of that. Certainly want to make sure that I thank with some additional support and help. Thank you, Ms. Banks, for just supporting us as well. We needed that. Thank you. The fellows had a little bit of something to say, I believe, that after your presentation. But I just want to say thank you. We are greatly appreciated. These are our fellows. We do have girls on our high school team, but our goal is to certainly bring home a win at Nationals, which we will be attending in March. Hopefully we'll see some of you there and have some support as well for that. But thank you. Please forgive me. I didn't, because it's not about me. I'm a servant here. So forgive me for not introducing myself. I am Tiffany Hackworth. I am their sponsor. I'm over at University High School Academy and University High School Preparatory Academy, where we have two teams. We have a 8th grade team, and we also have a high school team. Both compete in the math divisions. Our 8th graders competed in the math counts, and our high school also do the math trimathlon. In addition, we have two more teams that compete, which is the Lego, and our high school team will be competing in the 1080 program. So we're competing in 4 divisions. 2 engineering in terms of the robots, and then 2 of the math. Thank you for that.
I'd also like to let you know that this is not just an isolated team of people that are involved with these students. We also have the Southfield Regional Academic Campus that's represented, of course, with the principal, Marty Boger, but also Mr. Solomon, who is very active in the participation with the students, and he's been with the organization. So thank you, Mr. Solomon, for your support. He's also a very good support person when we go on these trips with the young men. And I have to say they're outstanding. The students are very well behaved, and we expect that. But also they're so interested and involved in what we're doing. Also, I'd like to say Ms. Rita Teagan, I'll let her come on up and speak, but she has Mrs. Boger, Kathy Boger, who also represents the Levy team, and we do have some Levy students here, if you'll stand as well, who are on the citywide team. We have had support from U of M and people from regular engineers from this who come and help to support this event. So we're very happy to have that. And we meet together. It's not a lot, but we do get together occasionally to do this. And I have to say that Dr. Wood has been very supportive in this financially, as well as being a team support for us, because we couldn't do that without the support of the district. So at this time, I have Rita T. come up and speak.
I'll be very brief. Levy is very excited that we are able to participate. We want to thank Dr. Wood and the board and the STEM Partnership Council for supporting us. We are indebted to them. This is the 3rd year for the Levy team. In fact, the 2 young ladies that stood, they've been attending since the 6th grade. So we're very excited about their participation, and we hope to continue in this endeavor. Thank you.
I think this team also forgot to tell you that they brought home an award last year, so. Brace Letterly just started in on the competition, so we hope to get there too. But we'd like to thank you for listening and understanding that this is a very important part of what the students do, because engineering is an important program that will, advance them later on in life. So thank you for, allowing us to speak to you today. Thank you. Thank you.
We are
are the members of the team that won the regional competition of math counts for the regional conference. We studied from the provided workbook with 300 questions.
We completed a surplus of problems throughout the workbook over the course of a week. These problems helped us to know what was on the competitions test, which was given to us at the conference.
Although we weren't able to finish studying the packet due to time constraints, we were able to win first place. In all honesty, we could have managed our time better.
The time that we spent during school and early hours of our hotel visit, we studied to prepare for this. We also got to meet past friends from previous schools.
At the competition, we were able to increase our teamwork skills by collaborating to solve math problems. The competition was enjoyable for us due to its energetic feeling and our love for math.
Are there any questions about the competition? No? Anybody? No? Thank you. Oh, yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Jordan, and I am in 12th grade, and I attend Southfield Regional Academic Campus, and I would like to share with you my experiences with NSBE. So, basically, what NSBE was about was basically teaching us about engineers and inspiring us to pursue a degree in engineering. We talked about biomedical engineers, forensic engineers, et cetera, but, you know, we attended workshops where, you know, we competed against other schools. It was fun. I had fun. And we also attended a brotherhood meeting where we talked about real problems amongst the youth of, you know, young males. And I learned an important lesson during that meeting that I, you know, add to every aspect of my life, and that is your thoughts create words. Words create actions. Actions create character. And there's only one thing to do if you want to change your character, and that's to go back to the root. You must first change your thoughts.
Levy Middle School received a robotics grant for $1,800. Principal Ms. Beach, will you study here with more information?
introduce the team of teachers that are the robotic coaches, Dr. Delina Boone, Ms. Andrea Morrow, and Ms. Lisa Herman, and I'm going to let them speak to you about the robotics grant and what is going to be done with the funds. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Boone. First of all, we kind of practice what we preach at our school. As you know, I'm one of the teachers for the STEM program. And one of the things that we emphasize is teamwork. And also we emphasize opportunity. And we emphasize just simply moving out of our comfort zone. So in the effort to do that, one of the things that have come together prior to writing the grant is Lisa Herman, who's an art teacher, outstanding art teacher, and also Andrea Morrow, who's another STEM teacher, 7th grade. We decided to come together and we collaborate quite a bit when we think in terms of our students, science, math, engineering. We look to Lisa for things such as models, three-dimensional models. We work as a team in terms of making those type of concepts come to life. Andrea and I, we kind of dig in terms of science concept background. Bottom line is that we came together when it was time to get a grant that would benefit our students, and everybody had their input. We emphasize teamwork, not just among our students, but among ourselves. We sort of model that. In the process of trying to fill out the grant, there's another person that I want to give credit to as well, and that's Edwina Hill. She was a very big help and support in helping us pull the grant together. So.
I'm going to go off topic just a little bit. I'm Lisa Herman. I'm the art teacher, and most of this up here is our work from Levy. Southfield High has the work over there. I have a young man here with me today, Quentin Bell, who is one of my students for 3 years, and we heard how much Dr. Wood enjoys the talking stick. So Quentin has created one for her so she can use it during the meeting. The creativity that we're able to instill in our children because they take art at Levy is it's an amazing thing. It helps them with all of their other classes. It helps out in the science and the math and their all the STEM projects that they're doing is only enhanced through the STEAM with the arts. So thank you.
I just wanted to mention on Andrea Morrow, working with Dr. Boone and Lisa Herman. And Dr. Boone and I had the privilege of taking a few students to a Saturday robotics competition. And again, we are excited about this because it really integrates the STEM ideas that we're working at our school. And we love the fact that Ms. Herman is working with us because we also have both programs at our school, the STEM and the STEAM when you throw in the art. And you actually, they need to think very creatively, as I noticed at the competition, where our students did start out a little rocky, but they won a match, and they got very excited. And we also had a young lady, so we're glad to see diversity in the team with not just the young men, but a young lady as well. And I also wanted to say that I felt a real sense of pride for all of our students, and as we try all of these things in the district, trying to integrate the ideas of the technology and the science and the math, many of these students went to Levy, and to see them going on with the NESB competitions and going on with the STEM when the Techno-J's were up. I was up there thinking, oh, I had that child in STEM class, and I had that child. And so this is how we build on it as a community. And so I'm very pleased that Dr. Boone asked me to help her out this year. And is there anything else we need to say, Lizzie?
All right, well, thank you very much, and we appreciate the support.
Ms. T, can you stand and talk about the program that your band participated in over the weekend? So I have Ms. Smith call me tonight and ask me why we were speaking about that.
Yes, thank you. The Leaving Marching Jaguars were asked to perform at the Adopt a Child program at Cobo Hall, but even more importantly, the band and the band boosters adopted 5 children, and they took just a tremendous amount of clothing and gifts for the children for Christmas. And it's one thing to practice and perform, and that's very important, but also to give back to the community and for the students to bring the presents and give them to the children. It was just very heartwarming, and we were very proud of that initiative and how well it turned out. Thank you, Mrs. Ross.
Thank you.
Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union awarded 5 of our teachers classroom cash grants. Sarah Bell from the Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union is here with more information. The teachers are also here. Ms. Bell?
Hello, good evening. My name is Sarah Bell, a member service representative with Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union. As a credit union that serves educators, it's been our goal to support local schools by funding out-of-the-box learning experiences for students. That's why we established the Classroom Cash Grant Program, which is designed to assist educators with covering the cost of innovative classroom projects that directly benefit their students and ultimately our community. This year, our applicants received over 25,000 online votes. Applications for the projects developed by educators were uploaded on our microsite and voted on this past October. In total, we've awarded more than $40,000 in grants to the top vote getters. Today, I'm pleased to be able to recognize 6 Southfield school teachers for winning the Classroom Cash Grant. We are going to start with the project titled The Charger Laundry Depot, and that is Ms. Robinson. Hi.
More of a worker, really not a talker, but our program is an employability program that I started in 2013, for which we received 2 other grants through Autism Society of America, and it's working with children with autism. So I'm sure a lot of you guys, especially anyone who works with Southfield Public Schools, you've seen our logo because I send out a lot of literature trying to get support. So thank you so much.
Great. The next project we have titled Readers and Technology by Ms. Tori Moss.
Moss is from the University High School Academy.
That's right. Yes. So my goal was to bring more technology as well as literature into the classroom this year, and thanks to the credit union, we were able to purchase 3 Kindle Fires and almost 50 novels, because I have kids who really love to read, and so we're just so excited. We started to receive some of our packages this week, so thank you again to the credit union. Great. So next we have a project titled Our Turn to Learn by Denise Bush.
From the Thompson K-8 International Academy.
I just want to thank everyone. You know, it was such an honor to be here tonight, Mrs. Katz, to see you get honored because you really deserve it. And I just would be remiss if I didn't thank you, too, for your years of dedication. And I also want to thank my administrators who are here, Dr. Allen, my assistant principal, thank you for your support. Thank you for just being that smiling face every morning that I see and that greet the kids. Really appreciate you. Mr. Eason, thank you so much for all that you do for our school. You are phenomenal, and you've made a big imprint on Thompson. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank two other people. Mrs. Lightsey, you left an indelible imprint on our school and on me, and I think you know that you will always be Thompson K International Academy. We just loaned you out. Thank you very much. And the young lady that just came before me, I think she left out, but I'm still going to thank her anyway. That's my daughter, and she inspires me to be the person that I am today, and so I want to thank her publicly. And thank you all. Great. Next we have project titled Autism Sensory Integration Programming by Hank Lewandowski.
Oh, he is from the Glen Levy Middle School.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Mr. Lewandowski couldn't be here this evening. He's having some medical excitement going on. But this is his second, really probably third year to win, and he uses it to infuse more technology into the classroom to create sensory programs for his students and to also help in their communication because many of them are nonverbal, and this assists them to communicate and to learn in other ways. So thank you very much.
Finally, we have Lisa Watson for Mrs. Watson's Digital Learning Environment.
From Vandenberg World Cultures Academy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lisa Winston, and I want to publicly thank the Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union for allowing my kindergartners to receive some Chromebooks this year. They love digital technology at their fingertips at all times, and thanks to you, we're able to do that. I also want to just thank my principal, Mrs. Watson, for coming in and also supporting our program with the Chromebook. And I have to congratulate Ms. Katz as well. Many of you may not know, but Ms. Katz was my 12th grade trigonometry teacher. So it's an honor. So thank you very much for having me, everyone.
Well, and that takes care of our awards for today, but the report of the Student Board Representatives, Ms. Shana Hodge of Southfield Regional Academic Campus.
Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
Superintendent Dr. Linda Wood, Central Office staff and administrators, Southfield School staff, parents, students, and guests. My name is Shana Hodge, and I am your student board member from Southfield Regional Academic Campus. Southfield Regional Academic Campus continues to support Dr. Wood's initiative for this school year to celebrate what we do right. Mr. Bolger's Principal Reward Advantage celebrates students who show improvement in academics, attitude, and/or achievement. On November 4th and November 17th, Southfield Regional students participated in Grand Valley and Saginaw Valley on-site admissions. From those who participated, 90% were accepted. On November 14th, Mrs. Hinsman and Mrs. Gales took 29 students to Eastern Michigan University for a campus tour and college presentation. To our surprise, a former Lathrop student was our tour guide. For our current card marking data, 51% of our first card marking honor roll students continue to be on the honor roll for the second card marking. 10% of those students raised their GPA, and 19% of our senior graduating class of 2015 is on the honor roll. don't receive gifts or acknowledgments on this upcoming holiday, Southfield Regional Academic Campus Leadership Council has taken that into consideration and sent out signed holiday cards to Meadowlodge Nursing Home located in Southfield. As of today, the Principal's Leadership Council is hosting a canned food drive to help feed those in need during the holiday season. Southfield Regional Academic Campus is taking our First Lady Michelle Obama's FAFSA Challenge. December 1st and 2nd, Mrs. Hinsman and Mrs. Gales introduced the FAFSA process and helped students acquire a FAFSA pin. On Thursday, November 13th, Mr. Solomon, Mrs. Sonia Johnson, and 11 STEM Club members attended the Fall Regional Conference for the National Society of Black Engineers in Cincinnati, Ohio. STEM Club members participated in math competitions and leadership conferences. On December 5th, STEM Club held their first bowling fundraiser at Plum Hollow Lanes to raise funds for the upcoming National NASB Conference to be held in California. Have a good evening and enjoy your holidays.
Thank you. Miss Brianna Richardson, Southfield Lathrop High School. You don't look like you should be.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, I'm not Brianna Richardson. My name is Drew Metcalf, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the Southfield Lathrop Chargers. Today I'm filling in for Brianna because she is currently in New York at a DECA convention. During this trip, students will be attending 3 DECA conferences, the 9/11 Museum, Times Square, and many more. They left this morning and will return this Sunday afternoon. So Brianna will be present at the January meeting. I know you missed me, I'm sorry. The students at Southfield Lathrop have been doing tremendously well academically. 363 students made honor roll the second card marking. Between November 11th and 12th, DECA attended the State Leadership Conference downtown at the Crown Plaza. Students were able to attend seminars and sessions with representatives from all fields of business and marketing. The students were even taken on the Detroit Princess for dinner, and they all had a wonderful time. Southfield Lathrop held the health fair on November 15th. The fair included, but was not limited to, 17 vendors, dental representatives, flu shots, podiatrist evaluations, Zumba presentations, and tennis demonstrations. And also like to thank Ms. Linda Woods and Fern Katz for attending also. Many parents and students came out to learn about important news on how to live a healthy lifestyle. Our organizations, DECA, Student Congress, and Medical Academy, all volunteered to make this event a success. Our National Honor Society inducted 26 new members on November 19th. We want to give special thanks for board members Fern Katz and Betty Robinson for coming to support our students' achievement. DECA held their annual 106 and Park Hype Night this past Thursday with over 500 students in attendance. This show gave our students an opportunity to showcase their talents in front of their teachers and peers. The show was extremely successful, and very special guests surprised students and performed at the show. Another organization, Project Manhood, is currently collecting used clothing for a local shelter. Their goal is to receive 1,000 pounds of clothing. Student Congress has also been collecting donations for Goodfellows. This group is raising money for the parents who can't afford to buy their children Christmas gifts. Scholars Plus and International Baccalaureate induction ceremonies will take place on December 11th. We are extremely proud of all of these students. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful night.
Miss Aries Rutledge University High School Academy.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Aries Rutledge, and I'll be sharing the latest news at the U. November 21st, our student-led mentorship program held their second lesson where underclassmen were taught the difference between being proactive versus reactive. November 24th, class of 2015 presented UHSA's annual fashion show. Students from all grades successfully worked together to display looks ranging from winter clothing, old school versus new school, and our class favorite prom attire.
As you heard earlier, our NESB students were honored for their success at the Math Count competition in Cincinnati. December 4th, Dean Williams took 30 students to the University of Michigan College of Engineering Design Expo, in which students engaged in engineering projects and demonstrations. December 5th, SUCO received a great turnout at their annual leadership night, where students from all of the school clubs and organizations came together to share and learn important skills they could take back to maintain success in their own clubs, while also mixing and mingling to enjoy a night of fun. With the holidays rolling in, giving back to the community so everyone can enjoy them is important at the U. This week, UPrep class of 2019, the eighth graders, are sponsoring a canned food drive. Furthermore, SUCO recently adopted a family for Christmas and is meeting them tomorrow at Oak Grove AME Church to surprise them with their new gift. Also, SUCO and the National Honor Society joined together to sponsor Toys for Tots Drive at University, which will end next week, December 15th. December 8th, our first Michigan First Credit Union opened. Today, December 9th, Wolverine Express visited the classrooms of many UHSA students. This is an outreach program where University of Michigan professors and staff give students an opportunity to meet and learn about their experience there. The 17 speakers study or have professions and majors varying from theater, performing arts, engineering, law, public health, math, and many more. University was very honored to have this opportunity because the Wolverine Express only visiting 6 schools a year. Thursday, December 11th, 26 students will be initiated into the National Honor Society. Friday, December 19th, class of 2015 will be hosting a student versus staff and alumni basketball game. Thanks for listening to the latest news at the U, and remember, we're nurturing tomorrow's leaders today. Go Eagles.
And Miss Lauren Williams. Another one.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm not Lauren Williams. I'm Colin Grace. I'm here to represent Lauren Williams. I am a senior at Southfield High School. I am a member of the football, wrestling, and track teams. I am also a member of the Principal's Council. Here's the Blue Jay report. The Blue Jays are still soaring. 355 students made the honor roll, the second card marking. This is an increase of 24 students from the first card marking. On November 14th, Southfield Student Congress held its fall blood drive. Many came out to donate blood. This was the kickoff event to Southfield High School Charity Week. Charity Week started on November 17th with the Stop the Music fundraiser. Students and staff donated over $300 to have music played during passing time ended. On November 18th, SSC, NHS, and Scholars Plus students took the Blue Jay Spirit on the road. Students with the Bernie, Grace Littley, MacArthur, McIntyre, Thompson, and Adler to read to 4th grade elementary students. Charity Week concluded with the student versus faculty volleyball game on November 20th and our annual canned food drive. On Monday, November 18th, Southfield High hosted an 8th grade open house. Parents went on a tour of the building and held an intimate conversation with SHS administration during the delightful dinner. The Blue Jay football team concluded a historic season on Saturday, November 22nd. The Blue Jays won their second consecutive OAA white title, a district championship, and a regional championship before falling defeat to the state semifinal game held at Novi High School against Ronald de La Salle. This marks the first time in school history the Blue Jays have won a league, district, and regional title in 1 year. There is a plethora of individuals awards that the Blue Jay football players have received since the season has concluded. 4 Jays, Dior Johnson, Charles Harris, Jeremy Gates, and Ray Buford had made the All-State football team by the Associated Press, Detroit News, and the Detroit Free Press. Marcus Grimes was named to the Oakland Dream Team with Dior Johnson. Many other Blue Jays were All-League and All-Metro North. Dior Johnson became the only 5th player in the school's history to be named Dream Team All-State by the Free Press. A banquet will be held December 17th in Dearborn to honor Dior and the other athletes that make this prestigious list. I would like to thank you again for giving me this wonderful opportunity to represent my school to the Board of Education. Let's go Southfield with Blue Jays soar.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And now we have a report from our superintendent, Dr. Wood.
Yes, I'm going to share just a few words with you this evening. I first want to take a moment. We started the evening with a wonderful presentation and music by the Bernie Jazz Band, and they're gone now, but they were very, very special, and I want to make sure that they're acknowledged because they provided wonderful music. And I was sitting there thinking about, oh my gosh, this is the time of the year, and there's a song that I really love to hear, and it's called It's That Time of the Year When the World Falls in Love at this time. And really, it is the season for giving, for sharing, and spending time with friends and family. It's that time of the year to reflect on our accomplishments, traditions, and resolutions for the new year. It's also the time to extend a little extra help to others who may not be as fortunate as our children. Our students are busy providing services. They are visiting seniors and providing entertainment and bringing a smile to those who cannot get out and visit a school program or a holiday program. Our students are donating food and clothes to local residents and shelters. I'm so proud of them. It is the time for our families and extended families to talk to each other, laugh, have fun with each other, and most importantly, love each other. That is a tremendous gift of this season. I am very thankful for our children, and I invite all parents and our community to visit at least one holiday program at one of our elementary, middle, or high schools this season. The children are wonderful. The bands, the choirs, the artwork, the singing, and the excitement of our children seeing you there. You really make their day. And so I just want to leave those words with you as you celebrate this wonderful season and celebrate it with friends and family. That concludes my report.
Thank you. And Ms. Trump, you have a report, sir?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Back to the business part. Tonight, in the action items, we'll be bringing the first appropriation to the 14-15 budget. Our process is that we do a projected budget in May or June of the previous year. At that time, we're using our best guess as far as student count, taxable, values for property, things like that. So around this time of year, when we get more information, we go and we do the first appropriation act where we amend that with the new figures that we have. And then we'll do it once more at the end of the year and try and come as close to the actuals as we can. So for tonight, we actually have some good news as far as revenues. The revenues in the First Amendment are up $4.5 million from what we had proposed. Most of that is because our student count is 269 students more than we had projected. We did have a slight loss, only 137, which is much, much better than what we've done over the past few years, so that is really great news. We also, we did get some categoricals in our state aid. We got the data obligation and the performance categorical, and just for the people at home that may not know, state aid is, we have a per pupil amount that we get for each pupil, but then the state also a few years ago started breaking it out into what they call categoricals, and there's different pockets of money that you have to do certain things to get that money, and also it changes from year to year. So they may start out with $99 per pupil, the next year they'll prorate it to $52, so that's what's been happening. But we did this year get a couple of those that came up to almost $500,000. Another piece that's kind of confusing is that there's a flow-through of the unfunded liability for the Michigan Public School Retirement System. That increased this year $700,000. There was another 1.13% that they're putting through as a one-time liability. What this does is it just takes that liability off the state's books and transfers it to all of the districts over the state, and it's a new accounting procedure that they have to follow, but it's a little bit confusing when you look at our revenues and expenditures. It's a flow-through. There's no bottom line impact to us, but it does increase our revenue and increase our expenditures. So putting those all together, we had about 4.5 more in revenue at this point than we knew we'd have last year when we did the proposed. Our expenditures are down $1.6 million. Some of that is because of salary and benefits. Again, we do a projection at the beginning of the year of how many teachers that we think we're going to have, what the benefits are going to cost. We used the 10%. The benefits actually went up 6.2%, so we gained a little bit there. And then the superintendent and I also went through and cut the lines as close as we could at this point in the budget, which we don't normally do till the end of the year, but we have some things coming up. We know we're declining again. We're going into a spot where we're going to have to start looking at our budgets and do some more cuts, so we wanted to see if we could get it just as close as possible for planning purposes right now. So net change is $6.2 million, so we are looking at a projected fund balance now of $12.2 million at the end of the 15-16 school year. Any questions? Thank you.
Ms. Newberry?
Good evening, everyone. My report is contained within the consent agenda for this evening. Thank you.
Good evening. Major parts of our curricular and instructional protocols are aligned to the Common Core state standards. Our students are preparing to enter a world which colleges and businesses are demanding much more than before. I'd like to invite Alma Dean, Director of K-8 Programs, to the podium to share with you a few teaching and learning shifts.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the board, cabinet, and our Southfield Public Schools community. I am Alma Dean, the Director of K-8 Education, and I have the incredible task this evening of presenting something very big to you in 5 minutes. I was looking at the children as they came from the robotics team and the STEM program, and that's really the end result of the Common Core implementation. So that's my report. No. Okay, so teaching and learning shifts from the Common Core. I'm sure many of you have heard Common Core before, but I'm going to share with you some of the things that really make it a new and incredible initiative. The shifts that they mention are multifaceted. The shift of an instructional component, the shift of a learning component, and the shift of mindsets as well. So let's take a look at the two areas where the Common Core has been implemented. The first being ELA or literacy. And the question is, how will it look? So on the left side of the page, you see the shifts. And on the right side, you see some of the things that will be evident as the implementation of the standards occur. Shift 1 is balancing informational and literary text. And what that means is we're looking to have a 50-50 balance in our reading material. For the most part, in the past, we've had a lot of narrative reading. And now we're looking to implement and have students read about science, social studies, and math, more informational text. So you may see children in elementary reading about how a plant grows, how to spend money. You may see children in middle school reading about biographies, articles, historical speeches. High school children may be reading about the bubonic plague. The second shift is knowledge in the disciplines. More reading in classes such as math, science, and social studies. They're all interconnected, and that's what you'll see evidence of with that second shift. You'll see how students in math may be doing writing, speaking. Students in science may be doing things that are associated with social studies or geography. So you'll see a across the disciplines literacy. What did that child say? It's been a long day. Okay, shift number 3 is a staircase of complexity. So what that means, the literature that we're reading will become more and more difficult. And what we're going to do is help the children be able to plow through it, learn how to dig into a piece of literature and really extrapolate meaning from it, as opposed to
skimming over it and going to something that may be a little bit simpler. So the staircase to complexity is something that we'll see evidence of as we move through the Common Core shift. Shift number 4 is text-based answers. So in the past, we've asked children to share with us their thoughts and opinions, and they've done a very good job of doing that. They've mastered that skill. Now we're asking them to give us evidence of their thoughts and opinions. Show us from a text-related base why you feel the way you feel. So they have to be able to go into a piece of literature, dig into it, and pull out something that shows how they arrived at their, how they arrived at their thoughts. Shift number 5 is writing from sources. So we will see evidence of students problem solving and looking to text material in order to help them solve those problems. Working in groups, working on teams, we may see something like problem solving that affects others. So children may be trying to solve problems of the world or things that affect their world, like how to prevent diseases from spreading from the Center of Disease Control. 6th graders may read a newspaper article saying, bear with me, Miami-Dade County votes to keep pit bulls out of the 3rd grade. I'm sorry. We may also see a 3rd grade report on children learning how to spend money. And last but not least, the 6th shift is the academic vocabulary. During the implementation of this portion of it, children will be using higher level vocabulary. It kind of goes back to the staircase of complexity. As they read material that's more and more difficult, of course it comes with an increased vocabulary. So as they read this material, their vocabulary will increase, and they will also learn that words have power. So they'll learn to look at deliberate words and make conscientious choices about the words they put on their essays, and even the words they use in conversations with one another. Okay, second area of the Common Core is mathematics. So on the left side again, you see the shifts, and on the right side, you also see how it may look. So the first shift in mathematics is the focus. There's a greater focus on fewer topics. So what that means is there are fewer strands, and we'll take a deeper look at those strands and spend more time with them, really understanding what they mean. K2's focus is addition and subtraction. 3-5, multiplication and division. 6-8, ratios, rational numbers, proportional reasoning, and algebraic reasoning. 9-12, advanced algebraic and geometric reasoning. Shift 2 is the coherence. That's linking topics and thinking across the grade. And if you think back to the ELA, knowledge in the discipline. So what you're seeing are some commonalities with ELA and math. Both are looking to achieve the same goals. The coherence looks for ways for students to build understanding on foundations that's also built in previous grades. So when you learn addition and subtraction, you build on it when you learn how addition and subtraction is related to multiplication and division. You learn how to take those skills and you build on them even further when you learn how to use them in conjunction with fractions. That is all the math at the high school level students are utilizing the literacy component, which is one of the reasons we use Springboard. And Springboard was implemented to help drive that shift home. Shift 3 is fluency, which is procedural skills that lead to multiple solutions and paths. So we used to have math taught to us where it was a procedure. I remember with division, it was with long division. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. And now we're helping children to understand that there may be different ways to solve that problem or achieve the same goal. Children are really thinking about and being able to understand conceptually what division is, how they arrived at their answers, and more importantly, to be able to use their words and explain it to someone else. Shift 4 is the deep understanding, and that's the rigor. Actually, 4, 5, and 6 they work in tandem with one another. So the rigor is understanding the concept in multiple forms. So being able to see how we use division in the real world,
how we use fractions, why shapes are important, and all of those components of math that they do in class but really can use in the real world. Okay, shift 5 is the application. So they use the skill, again, applying it in real-world scenarios, also working in collaboration with one another to solve problems, real-world problems, things that where they may be using, they may be learning about measurement, and they may have to measure tile for a room, or learn how to measure tile for a room. The dual intensity is, again, that same deep understanding and rigor. They're applying the skill as they're learning the skill. So as they're learning about addition, they're using it. As they're learning about percentages and fractions, they may double a recipe or figure out the percentage of something off on a scale item. So they're actually applying the skill while they're still learning it. So where are we in Southfield Public Schools? Well, the Common Core State Standards call for greater, more deliberate practices to ensure that all students are college and career ready. So that involves peer collaboration, real-world problem solving, critical thinking skills, argument and evidence as proof of knowledge and opinions, again, both in mathematics as well as literacy. Literacy skills and mathematical thinking skills in all subjects. Technology infused seamlessly into the content area. So it's just not about the technology, but how can you use it in order to accomplish your goals. And in Southfield Public Schools, as was evident by the students who came before you today, we've already began that journey. So many of our teachers have had differentiated instruction training from the national board, based on the national board at Take 1. We have a systemic lesson plan where we have to conscientiously think about the assessments that we're giving the children and how they work in conjunction with what's actually being taught in the classroom. We also have technology upgrades and purchases. We have classroom resources. We have K-12 literacy resources, McGraw-Hill Wonders for K-5, and the Home Mifflin Collections, which is the high school component. We also have the Everyday Math and the Springboard resources, which allow children to be able to use all of those skills that you see at the top, and also to infuse some inquiry-based learning. So that's the biggest part of it. Do we have any questions? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Was that 5 minutes?
Thank you. For the second report, we believe every destination should have a roadmap. Our route is planned by the data we collect and analyze during the year. The state assessment has been one of the tools used to guide our curriculum and instructional needs for the students that we have served for over 10 years. Holly Kosinski, Supervisor of Assessment, Testing, and Accountability, will give you an update on the changes that we will implement this spring.
So our old language for our state assessment was MEET and MME, Michigan Merit Curriculum, or Michigan Merit Examination. The state on November 15th released the new name and platform for this assessment. The new acronym is MSTEP, Michigan Student Test of Educational Progress. And this is a 3rd through 8th and 11th grade testing platform that replaces both the former language of MEET and MME. So what are the big changes? The big changes are, first, the test now reflects what is being taught at each grade level during the given school year, including a realignment of science testing in 4th and 7th grade and social studies in 5th and 8th grade. Previously with the MEET testing, students, for instance, with the science test would learn their science curriculum in 4th grade and then not be tested until the fall of their 5th grade year on that science information. And that was true for all the various subjects. So they completed a year of school, left school for the summer, came back in the fall, and then were tested on the previous year's standards. So now one of the big changes is that the test has shifted from the fall to the spring testing. So that's a good change. That's a good change for our students.
The new test will be online and computer adaptive tested. And so this is a big change to go from a paper pencil format to an online format. However, we have begun preparing our students for this in the last 3 years with our math testing, and we'll continue to do some programming and guided focus study on helping students be ready to take this new and different assessment online come the spring. Our 3rd through 8th grade students have 3-week windows in the spring for testing, so there's 3 kind of back-to-back windows. The 11th grade has an 8-week window for their online testing, and this is very different from the paper and pencil format, because with the paper and pencil format, in the state, everybody takes the English test on the same day at the same time across the state. And so this, because we're using computer resources, not everybody has. If we've got 200 students at a grade level, you don't have 200 computers in a school to test everybody at once. And so the state has given a larger window to be able to schedule and test these students. And again, they're back-to-back. So only one grade is testing at a time as you move through a school. The testing session times, the students will continue to be tested in ELA and mathematics in grades 3 through 8 and 11. Science in grades 4 and 7 and 11, social studies in grades 5 and 8 and 11, and then of course our 11th graders take the college entrance ACT exam and the work keys exam in March. And so this is just a chart that kind of gives you some of the times that they're asking us to use in scheduling format and so on as we create the testing schedules in the building. How does the test align to content? And this just dovetails right into what Mrs. Dean was talking about. For ELA and math content, the new test reflects the Michigan standards, which is the Common Core for math and ELA. What the state did, the legislature, when they created some new requests for proposals and so on last year, typically it takes 3 years to develop a test question, pilot that test question, gather data, field test it, and so on. What the change in the legislature required is that they take a 3-year process and condense it down to about an 8-month process. So the State Department of Education did a lot of work looking at their existing resources and what type of questions could they use for students that would have reliability and validity as far as having been previously used, without just saying, we're going to take the old MEAT test and put that on a computer. And so because the state was part of the Smarter Balance Assessment Consortium and devoted resources to this, they have decided to use Smarter Balance test items for both that math and ELA component. And that now breaks that component into 3 different types of activities. So there's an online computer adaptive portion. There's a classroom activity that then prepares students for a performance task that is completed online. And this ability with the math and ELA testing really begins to get at the depth of knowledge and rigor that the Common Core standards require and really differentiate it from older styles of testing. The ELA and math content also will have some Michigan-created content on it that will be used as field test items for future assessments. The social studies and science are currently aligned to the Michigan standards for social studies and science, which are referred to as the GLIT, grade level content expectations, and the high school content expectations for both social studies and science. And the test items there are part of the Michigan developed test items that have been vetted and tested in that previously used 3-year cycle. So those are the way that they've decided to create the content of the assessments, and so that we can feel that there's validity and reliability in the questions, and that they've gone through a process of being vetted for both bias and rigor, and not just something that's new and we haven't ever seen before. So what are we doing and how are we preparing? In January, there will be a coffee and conversations with the superintendent on a date to be announced shortly, in which we will be talking more in more depth about what the Smarter Balance and state assessments look like. And the coffee and conversations always takes place on a Saturday morning. For those parents who aren't able to be with us on a Saturday morning, we will also offer a March or February date in the evening here in the boardroom to be able to talk and share information about that with our parents. We are continually working to really get both our staff and our students ready for assessments, and just an example of that was last week there was an ACT program held at Southfield High School to help students prepare for the ACT exam. This was advertised and offered to parents and students from grades 8 through 11. I am proud to report that due to the great efforts of the team that Ms. Talea Williams-Hunter and the team that kind of spread the news about this event, we had over 230 parents and students attend at Southfield High School Commons to be able to hear more information about the ACT, how ACT scores impact college entrance and college scholarships, and what students can do to begin preparing and prepping themselves for those assessments. And so Southfield parents were able to register their students for some ACT prep programs that are going on in the month of January, especially for those juniors who will be taking the assessment in March. So that's a quick overview to a very large subject, but if you have any questions at this time, I'd be happy to. Yes, sir.
Well, I just want to make a statement. Just recently, as a board, we tried out the test assessment.
The math assessment, yes.
The math assessment. Very interesting and very informative.
Right, yep. No other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This concludes my report, which is aligned to goals 2, 4, and 5 of the strategic plan.
Thank you.
Next, we have the report from Mrs. Charles of Head Start.
If it pleases the board, due to the lateness of the hour, I'd like to ask if someone would present the October busing report at the December 17th meeting. I'll make sure you have it, because I will not be in attendance on that day. However, I'll be sure someone has that document, and I'll just do December, and I will be as brief as possible. You also have it in front of you. Welcome. This is the director's report from Bussey Center for Early Childhood Education. Our Region 5 Office of Head Start Specialist, Ellen Chavez, was in attendance on yesterday. She was very pleased with our program, and she replaced Barbara Christmas. Our current enrollment at Bussey is 178 Head Start students, 64 Great Start, 14 drops, and 92 on the wait list. With the new law requiring children to be 5 years old by October 1st, we have several children that cannot attend our full-day Head Start or the blended classroom. The wait list of 92 children are those 3-year-olds or those who do not meet the state cutoff of October 1st. The COPA ADA was 82.87. Several children have been out to illness. Those families have been contacted, and home visits are scheduled for those children who are expected to be out for several days. Those children will, with unexcused absences, have been sent a letter from the family service worker, and a follow-up will occur. The CACFP for the month of December, for the month that she's reporting for, is 2,168 breakfasts, 2,562 lunch, 2,220 snacks. 7 children needed dental screening. The 90-day compliance date was Friday, December 12th, and letters have been sent to families needing dental appropriate paperwork. Children with disabilities are 14. 4 of those are pending evaluations or referrals. There have been 2 newly hired staff pending the board's vote in just a moment. Ms. Kaplan, Ms. Richardson, Mrs. Novak, a part-time family service worker, has resigned, and you see that in the personnel report. We began the process of working on the 5-year strategic plan at Bussey, and it's a document just much like what we do for the district, and of course they did a SWOT analysis. The joint governance meeting was last week. Many of us attended.
not enough time to go on how much wonderful stuff there was, and I apologize, I forgot this was double-sided, so I will scan it and you'll have it emailed. But it also goes on to say that Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Dwyer were attending a leadership conference in Chicago, Strategies, Ideas, and Resources for Education and School Readiness and Health, and then there were several communications that came from the Office of Head Start, changes in health safety monitoring, brush up on oral health, safe sleep, stronger connections between Head Start and medical homes. They will also begin the process of the annual self-assessment in January. Training will be conducted on the 22nd and 23rd. Additional events are on the calendar. And relating to financial, I'm getting bored. $1.3 million is our federal grant. 28.5% of that has been spent. $943,000 approximate dollars are remaining. And the total in-kind is $330,000, that's our goal, and total to date is $164,000, which is easily half of that, and it would be inappropriate not to highlight that the parents have amassed 42% of their personal in-kind, so that's very, very good considering we're only in December. And the total grant is $1.6 million, that includes the federal and the in-kind, like the district's offerings and whatnot. And so, again, available to all of us, it's publicly known. So, thank you. That concludes that report.
Thank you very much. And in-kind, you know what in-kind is? In-kind is, the hours volunteered, what is it, $16 an hour they allot for every hour volunteered in the classroom. So if you wish to contribute in kind to Head Start, you need only ask to volunteer. They will accept you as long as you are, do in-kind volunteers have to be tested for, all staff, all people in the classroom have to be tested, for background checks, police background checks. So if you pass your check, then you can volunteer.
As it should be.
Okay, now we come to the action items. Could I have a volunteer to open the consent agenda, report number 5324, the personnel report?
I move to open consent agenda report number 5324.
Support.
If the board pleases, we could have a vote on that right now.
Okay, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Katz?
Yes?
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Poole?
Yes.
Myself? Ms. Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Unanimous.
All right. Could I have a motion to open and approve the consent agenda?
Support.
The next one.
Beg your pardon?
We've taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
25.
All right, may we have a vote?
I move we open report, or volume 53, report 25.
Support.
Do we need to read this?
Okay. You're assuming that we voted on the entire consent agenda with the last vote? Okay. Did we have a second on that?
Yes.
Thank you. Best practices incentive resolution, second reading and approval. Any comments? Call for the vote.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Charles?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Poole?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Joyce?
Yes.
Unanimous, yes.
Could we open report 5326, amendment to 2014-2015 Appropriations Act?
I move we open report number 5326, amendment to 2014-2015 Appropriations Act. Support.
Any comments? Call for the vote.
Ms. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Joyce?
Yes.
Mr. Poole?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Unanimous.
Thank you. Could we open report 5327? That's the Oakland Schools Finance and Human Resources Software System Consortium Agreement.
So moved.
Any questions, comments? Call for the vote.
Okay. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Charles? Myself, yes. Mr. Poole?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Joyce?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Could I call for someone to open report 5328, sale of excess capacity, maintenance, and IRU agreements?
So moved. Fourth.
Any questions, comments? Okay, call for the vote.
Mr. Poole? Mr. Poole?
No.
Okay. Ms. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Joyce?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Ms. Charles? Mr. Williams?
Yes.
7 and 1. 6 and 1, I'm sorry.
Now we come to the information items. These items do not require board action. Report 5329, the purchasing report. Can I have someone open that, please? Oh, we don't have to. We're not voting on it. No. Report 5330, the bill summary, and report 5331, gifts to the board. Could I have a volunteer to read the gift report?
I'll read it.
Okay, Betty.
Okay. The following donations were provided to Southfield Public Schools. Board Trustee Rance B. Williams donated a gift of $300 to the Southfield Public Schools Foundation on behalf of the Angela Maria Smith Williams Memorial Fund. These funds are designated to support reading and the district's Revolutionary Initiative. Number 2, Mr. and Mrs. Williams Bounds of Southfield, Michigan donated $5,000 to University High School Academy. This monetary contribution will be used to support student achievement. 3, Myers Incorporated donated $2,500 to University High School Academy. This monetary contribution will be used to support students attending future National Society of Black Engineers Conference. 4, Riven Consulting Firm of Bloomfield Hills donated an executive table and 8 chairs to Adler Elementary School. The estimated value of the donation is $2,000. BASF Corporation donated gifts of new clothing, coats, gloves, toys, and other various items to 4 families at Stevensville Elementary School. The estimated value of the donation is approximately $4,000. That concludes the gift report.
Thank you. The board recently adopted an amended policy on public participation. Only those persons with concerns related to school matters may participate during the public participation portion of a meeting. I see we have a volunteer. You can read the rules here. Comments are generally limited to 3 minutes. The board will listen to all comments but may not respond during the meeting. Comments may be referred to an administrator or the superintendent for follow-up. As a matter of fairness, speakers with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention persons by name. Complaints concerning employees should be brought to the attention of school principals or other administrators before coming to the board. Your cooperation is appreciated. Verna Hobbs Calhoun. Please give your name and address when you come up.
Good evening. My name is Verna Hobbs Calhoun. I reside at 27656 Aberdeen, Southfield. I have 2 hats as well. I'm a teacher here in the district at Southfield High School, 27 years now. But I'm also a parent, and I'm here today as a parent. I do have a concern, and both of my kids are in the band at Southfield High. They both attend University High School Academy. One is a senior, the other is a 9th grader. And it's come to our attention that the Appendix B position has been eliminated for the musical support for for the winter concert. And so the winter concert has been canceled. I have several students who are in the choir. My kids, of course, are in the band. They're extremely disappointed. And we'd just like to know why, at this late date, that this elimination has occurred.
Would you move closer to the microphone?
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, we wanted to know why the Appendix B position has been eliminated at this late date. The concert was scheduled for next Wednesday, and my students were excited about being in the choir. My kids were excited about being in the band. There's also the idea that the spring extravaganza, which is traditionally in the spring, May, will also be canceled, and that will be the last opportunity for my daughter to be a senior in the band. We have to remember that these opportunities have allowed many of our students to get scholarships in colleges. My daughter intends to participate in band at either U of M, Ohio State, Howard. We're waiting for responses at this point. So it's something that isn't just an extracurricular for some students. For some, it's one of the things that motivates them and allows them to continue with our program. We have an outstanding band, as I think all of you know. We've received nothing but accolades the entire time this band has been playing and rehearsing this school year. And anytime that they've played, they've received a lot of accolades. So we really can't really understand why they don't have an opportunity to perform. It's kind of like a band or like a football team that practices and can't play. A music teacher is more of a coach. I teach English, but they're coaches in a sense. I mean, we're all coaches. We all facilitate growth and learning. But a music teacher is a special kind of coach and needs the support in the evenings, because I don't typically teach English in the evenings, but music teachers are there to help facilitate that, just as drama directors and so forth. Our drama program has been cut. I would hate to see our musical program be cut as well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Certainly. I would like to just say a couple words. And number one is that the district has not cut any position at Southfield High. What perhaps has occurred and what has perhaps been communicated is that there were 3 or 4 Appendix B positions that teachers were asked to begin working in, and the positions had not been posted appropriately, nor had they been signed. And it's all protocol. So I am really not sure what message has been shared with you, but I have never cut any Appendix B position myself, nor have we cut any of the positions that were in place from last year. I would welcome speaking to all of you if your concerns are related to that, and we can set up a meeting tomorrow. I'm very comfortable with speaking and addressing each of those issues if it's related to that.
Good. That would be good. Could you tell us when and where?
I don't have my calendar at the moment, but I'll be at your high school.
Okay.
I'm coming for lunch.
Okay.
And I'm coming to speak to your staff, and I would be welcome to address every one of those questions.
Thank you.
Thomas L. Calhoun.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Thomas L. Calhoun. I live at 27656 Aberdeen Street here in Southfield. I too, as my wife who spoke before me, we are parents of 2 students at the University High School Academy, a senior and a freshman. I'm also wearing a second hat. I am also the vice president of the Southfield High School Instrumental Support Group, which is commonly referred to as the Booster Organization. Mrs. Woods earlier this evening invited you to attend holiday performances by our bands, choirs, and art. However, as my wife pointed out, we will have to unfortunately uninvite you to attend the winter concert by the Southfield High School music program and choir concert. It was scheduled for next week and has been canceled as reported to members of the Southfield High School Instrumental Support Group. It was due to budgetary cuts. The music students have been preparing since September for this event. Many of the students that are in the high school are also in the Southfield High School award-winning marching band and are also in the instrumental support and classes and or the choir. Typically, the winter concert and the spring extravaganza are graded assignments for some of the students. And additionally, it has been projected that because of budgetary issues, that the spring extravaganza was going to be cut as well. And that's why I know, is there any opportunity for these issues to be resolved so we can proceed to have the instrumental choir, instrumental music and choir concert next week, and be able to continue on to have our spring extravaganza in 2015.
Sure. I will repeat. I have not spoken with Mr. Horn about this. I have not cut a thing in the music department. As a matter of fact, we have a brand-new band teacher, and he already has been approved for a sizable Appendix B funded contract. And so I am not aware of any reason why there is a need to cut any extravaganza or music program. So I would be willing to have those conversations.
Okay. Our instrumental support group, we are having our executive board meeting tomorrow evening. I would like, if it's possible, maybe you could attend, or speak to us. Obviously, as a parent, I'm at work during the day, so I wouldn't be able to attend your meeting at Southfield High School, but maybe one evening when the rest of us are off work, we can meet together and you can fill us in on what you provided to Southfield High School. Thank you very much.
I also like to echo what our superintendent said. Superintendent, we and this board, to this day, hasn't made any budgetary cuts.
We have not.
At all. So sometimes the rumor mill just runs crazy. And we know that now. Our superintendent is going to make sure she addresses that with everyone who needs to be addressed.
Okay. It is not rumor mill. We do have emails from administrators to that effect.
From administrators here in central office?
No, not in central office.
That's the key I want to make sure you're clear on.
Okay. Comes through here. We approve it.
Who did it come from?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We will address it.
No, I'm not sure if this is Griffin or Johnson.
I'm sorry, that's Griffin, and I had the same concern, so I understand that you're going to meet with them tomorrow at lunch. I will not be available, but I look forward to what you have to say and see what we can do about our music program.
Thank you. Well, and now we come to board matters. Do we have anything from the board?
Yes. Friday at Adams Elementary School, we have a Cool Dash Cook Taste Fest. That's from 6:30 to 8:30. It's a fundraiser that we have every year. This is my 10th year hitting up that Taste Fest. Also Taste Fest, because what it does is, and I hope to duplicate that at some other schools now that I'm on board. But what's great about it is that we bring men together. This year we probably have maybe over 50 men. In the past we've had as many as 60 that come together, bring their dish, and it's a taste fest. It's a $1 taste. And it's a collaboration of men fellowshipping together and serving, and it's a fundraiser. So we invite everyone to come out on Friday from 6:30 to 8:30 and bring a healthy appetite with them.
Mr. Jordan, that's Friday.
That's Friday.
If you have to make me a chocolate cake, I'll come. That's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Otherwise, I'll promise.
Thank you, Mr. Toya.
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
I'd just like to say to the community, happy holidays, be safe, enjoy. As Dr. Woods so eloquently said, I'll just do an abbreviated version: live, love, and laugh. That's
Yes.
Especially love.
To the city of Southfield, Southfield Lathrop, and Southfield Township, I would just like to say good evening. For the last 2 weeks, I've visited a lot of conventions and a lot of meetings, and everybody's been coming up to me and they ask me, we want to know your background. So I'm going to take 5 minutes to review my background to the public, the true background, which is also on Twitter and LinkedIn. In 1997, I received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Social and Political Philosophy with a minor in English from the University of Michigan. After my academic career at the University of Michigan, I obtained 2 master's degrees. A master's degree in K-12 education from Wayne State University in 2006, a master's degree in religion from National Theological Seminary in 2014. During the summer of 1997, I was employed at the United States House of Congress on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. While on Capitol Hill, I worked on many congressional projects at the White House. After my White House internship, I worked at the world headquarters of Ford Motor Company in Dearborn, Michigan, in the Public Relations Department. Soon afterwards, I decided to dedicate my life to students who possess special needs by working as a certified special education teacher at Detroit Public Schools and an ordained minister at Harper Memorial Baptist Church. At the present time, I still hold my position as a special education teacher for Detroit Public Schools, as well as my position as an ordained minister and Sunday school teacher at Harper Memorial Baptist Church. I've taught in Detroit Public Schools for 17 years, and I've been an ordained minister for 10 years. In 2008, I was elected as trustee of Southfield Public School Board and re-elected in 2012. I voted against privatization twice, and I voted against a 20% millage increase. Equally important, in 2012, before running for re-election, I published my autobiography, which was written by me and edited by me. In summary, I'm an educator, ordained minister, public official, author, and editor. Thank you, and God bless you.
Mr. Poole?
Yes, I'd just like to recognize a student of ours. I recently was at the Max attending the Detroit Symphony Orchestra Jazz Series. And it was back in October. I think Diana Reeves was the headliner. But what I was really proud of was the fact that one of our Southfield High School students was in the band. And his name is Micah Thomas, plays trumpet in the Southfield High School band. And when his name was announced, that's the type of students that we're developing here at the Southfield Public Schools. So, shout out to Micah Thomas. You'll be surprised at places that board members will show up at. But it was a really, really well done concert, really put on by some fine high school musicians, and we had one of them in the band. So I wanted to give a shout out to Micah Thomas. I'm not going to be able to go into this tonight, President Katz, but I'm just going to kind of ask that you watch the first board meeting in January.
I should watch it?
I'm going to ask you to watch it.
Okay.
Your second term, you and I ran on the same ballot. And that was my first term, which ends tonight. And we've had a lot of accomplishments since then. And if you remember, we were experiencing the worst of times. But it turned out to be the best of times. These accomplishments that we've achieved are just unbelievable.
We had help.
We did. Margaret Hall was here. She was a part of that team. Karen Miller was a part of that team. Certainly, we all know Darryle Buchanan was a part of that team. And everyone at this table has played a role in what we've achieved through 2014. And it's impressive. It's impressive. I'm not going to go into it tonight, but stay tuned for the first board meeting in January, and I'll give you just a snippet. And Ms. Love Smith will be a part of the board at that time. Give you an idea of how much we've accomplished in such a short period of time. But President Katz, it's been an honor
Thank
to
you.
serve with you on this board for 5 years. I hope you won't be a stranger. You're a lot tougher than I ever thought you would be. And I think that's probably part of the reason Mike Flanagan's retiring too. So thank you so much for your service and your dedication. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Thank you.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes, I just want to say good luck to you, Fern.
Thank you.
I miss you, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
And say happy holidays to the general community.
Thank you. Mrs. Charles?
I echo the words, and have a great drive home, everybody.
Well, I know it's late. I guess it's been a memorable evening, but I did want to tell you what's been happening in Lansing. Are you interested, or should I stop now? Some of it's in the papers, some of it's not. But the House of Representatives, Michigan, Darryle approved bills Thursday. This is, by the way, from Cara Marie Doby, Director of Operations and Partner in Capital Services in Lansing. That's where I get my information. The House narrowly approved bills Thursday to remove the sales tax from gasoline over 6 years, a move that would deny schools and local governments hundreds of millions of dollars they otherwise would receive, and switch to a percentage-based wholesale tax on gasoline that tops off at 13.5% to raise money for roads. I'm not going to give you the details. If anybody wants them, you're welcome to take the paper. But what that means is that part of the sales tax on gasoline now goes to the schools, about 6%, I believe. And if they get rid of that and switch to this other method for collecting funds for roads, the money for schools and government, state, city governments, will go down the tubes. We cannot afford to lose that money. I mean, you heard that we have what do you call it? Ms. Trump said we had money, but it's not very much for running a school. You need a good backup to run the school district for emergencies. You know, think what a roof would cost for a building, or a boiler, or any of those things, or a pool that needs work. So we're opposed to that. In a move to combat the sharp criticism from Democrats and schools, majority House Republicans adopted an amendment saying that during that 6-year transition period, if the appropriations in the K-12 school aid budget or funds distributed to municipalities through revenue sharing decrease to an amount less than the previous year, then the sales tax would go back to 6%. But what would happen in the meantime if they had to go back? I mean, first of all, you have to trust them that they would send it back to the system. And secondly, it would be a year behind. So for a year, we'd be operating with less funds. It's really a dismal idea. Now, that bill is matched with a bill that was passed by the Senate that was not so devastating to school districts. I really don't want to read all of this because we've been here since 6 o'clock. But the substitute version of House Bill 4539 repeals the sales tax on gasoline over 6 years. I just talked about that. In 2017, it would decrease to 4%, in 2018 to 3%, in 2019 to 2%, and in 2020 it would decrease to 1% before disappearing altogether in 2021. Now, either way, there isn't enough money there for the roads. I'm not going to read the rest of this. The governor is saying that we have to raise taxes, which is really quite an admission for a governor. And then the two houses, the House and the Senate, have to come together and agree on how this is going to work, all of which is pie in the sky. But the very thought that people propose this and it fast house is very frightening. It really is. And the schools, you have to know what's happening in Lansing. And I'm going to try and tell you, and I'm not going to read any more of this, but it's scary. So that's my report for tonight. And I thank you again for all of your kind words, your kind thoughts. I really have enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to close?
I move that we
What?
adjourn.
We have something else?
Future meeting.
Oh, our upcoming meeting. Yes. On December 16th at 6 o'clock, we're having student hearing. December 17th at 5:30, special, oh no, that was changed, wasn't it? Oh no, that's right. December 17th at 5:30, special board meeting. January 6th at 5:30, the board organizational meeting. That's the first meeting of the year. Is that the meeting you want me to watch? No. January the 8th, 6 o'clock, student hearing. January 13th at 7 o'clock is the regular board meeting. Okay, January 20th at 5:30 is another special board meeting. January 27th at 6 o'clock is student hearings. And January 29th, 5:30, special board meeting. And with that, meeting is adjourned.